As I walked away from that hellish factory, I thought of how I had miraculously escaped one of the worst situations of my life. Yet, it was worth the risk. Now, I knew there would be an exchange of unspecified goods at the pier that night. An exchange I could not miss. I just had to find out which was the right pier among the thousands in Miami.
Oh, that was one heck of an escape, guys. Can we go say hello to Eugene? Go back to the factory.
I narrowly escaped death in that factory. I would no longer set foot in there.
No, alright. Let's head back to the headquarters, guys. Let's go talk to our partner. Maybe she can help us. Alice.
Hello.
Hi, Lars.
I need help, Alice.
I was able to sneak inside the factory.
How'd it go? Did you find anything?
I think, my dear, that I underestimated those people. I had to deal with a person of uncertain gender armed to the teeth whom I managed to survive only by a miracle, and thanks to my cat-like reflexes. Add to that the sketchy individual who gently suggested that I leave the case alone. And you'll have a clear picture of the current state of our investigation.
Somebody is not happy with the progress we're making.
Not at all. And the closer we get, the more I feel hunted.
The situation is more serious than I imagined. I really might have a chance for a promotion.
Hey, what about my life constantly being in danger?
Summing it all up, what do we actually know for sure?
First of all, I was able to put a name to our brown-haired mystery man. Now, the factory was registered to his name, a certain Radwed. Then I discovered that tonight an unspecified merchandise exchange will happen nearby at a local pier.
Considering the number of piers and ships anchored in Miami, it doesn't seem like enough to move forward. If only we had another hint of any kind.
We need another hint?
Have you got any ideas about how to proceed with the investigation?
Maybe you should shift your attention to something else for the moment.
You're right. I still haven't obtained everything I wanted from Roger, the homeless witness.
Yeah, that's a lead. And the only one available right now.
See you later, partner.
Bye, Lars.
I don't know how to get rid of the red paint, guys. Let's see if the painter is back or not. I hope he is back.
I wouldn't want a car like that even if it was a gift. Not to mention that green tar could probably go faster than that beater, with less pollution.
Where did he go? He left his job unfinished all of a sudden, guys. He disappeared out of thin air. Did something bad happen to him? I need his help. I know he can paint, so I think he can also unpaint something, right? What do we do? Where do we go? The only location that is still of interest is a promenade. Okay, let's look at that sign again. The plant.
That red mark with fresh paint sentenced that poor plant to death. It had to disappear if it wanted to obtain Roger's help.
I need to find the painter, guys. The bomb didn't work. The solvent bottle! It's a new item! The solvent will work on this.
The paint was still fresh, so the solvent would be sufficient to remove it.
Yeah! Yeah, put it to good use. We just got the item. So now the sign is gone.
Good morning, Duke Ravendish. You can stop worrying about your palm tree.
You do not speak fallaciously. I see the mark has actually disappeared.
Yeah.
Now, will you answer my questions?
Ravendish can be ruthless, but always keeps his word. Ask away.
About the night we discussed earlier, do you remember witnessing anything suspicious?
The Stroganoff stew was cooked without sour cream. These Americans and their culinary reinterpretations. Beyond that, I remember seeing an extraordinary individual. He was not a regular, I'm quite sure of that.
Can you describe him?
Formally attired, classy, possessing remarkable posture. He always had his back turned to me, so I cannot provide further details about his appearance.
Nothing else?
Not that I remember. No.
Another dead end. He was the only witness of the event, and I only obtained a vague description. The alley was a cold lead after all.
Where is my head? I unintentionally omitted a detail.
I held my breath.
As he strode towards the main street, the man received a phone call, from which I only managed to capture certain words. One in particular aroused my attention, and I determined to research it for purely academic reasons. I wrote it down in a note that, given your precious help, I am willing to share with you.
The note in your pockets.
Gripped with excitement, I prepared to read the note. It contained just one strange word. Sitla lique?
Do not look at me like that. I have no idea what it means.
I'll handle this. Although I didn't know how to interpret it, I was sure that bizarre word would lead me to the man in the mask. I had to consult with Alice and try to tie together the strands of my investigations.
Oh, lad, can you remain a little longer?
Do you want me to prune your palm while I'm here?
You have proven to be a reliable collaborator, so I have a second request of you. Being a detective, you may have access to government databases through which you could research, this.
I couldn't help but notice the effigy,
Ooh.
a crow, in the act of surrounding the world with its wings. I had already seen the same symbol shortly before. M's medallion. What the hell was going on? Had I exposed a conspiracy of vagrants? Well, can you give me more specific information?
The crow enveloping the world is the symbol of the Ravendish family, as well as of the company I run. Or, more accurately, I ran.
Tell me everything. Forwards and backwards.
That shan't be easy, but very well.
Are the two related, guys?
The Raven was, to me, a constant commitment. I ate with colleagues and slept in the office most of the time. I went home just one weekend a month at most. Over time, I started to ignore my family. First, my wife, who got sick of that situation and left the marriage. Then Cynthia.
Cynthia?
Cynthia?
Huh. Cynthia?
My only heir. She gave birth to a child, but I was so absorbed that I never went to visit them. When I saw her again, she told me she wanted to leave England to move here, to Miami. I was furious. I had filled her pockets with money, given her houses, clothes, and luxury cars, and she just wanted to abandon me, like her mother did. Oh, I feigned indifference and she left, repaying me with a taste of my own medicine.
This child is M? I think they are related, guys. This is his grandfather.
And since then, you've never seen your daughter again?
My daughter reached Miami, but sometime later, she suffered a terrible accident. She was killed instantly, without pain. The baby, however...
I found your baby! His name is M.
He had been abandoned.
How do you know that?
Let's say it was a deduction.
My daughter realized she couldn't take care of the baby, so she abandoned him. I don't know what her last thoughts were, but I was sure they were about the choice she'd made. I used most part of my fortune organizing searches, but to no avail. I felt like I was going crazy from helplessness. In the end, I was declared unfit to manage the Raven, and my portion was bought out by a private group.
Whoa!
The Fallen Rose.
The Fallen Rose. The Fallen Rose, the symbol.
Before my eyes, the pieces were being arranged in a very strange way. How could it be that the Fallen Rose itself, the company run by Radwed, was connected to that old man met only through chance? At that moment, I began to suspect that my meeting with Roger Ravendish was anything but random after all. You're telling me you stayed in Miami to look for your nephew for How many years, precisely?
12 years, give or take a few days, and I shall stay here as many more need be to reunite with him.
Listen, Duke Ravendish, I don't want to create false hope, but what are the chances that a 12-year-old kid who calls himself M would find himself in possession of your family medallion?
Boy, if this isn't jest, I must warn you that.
I believe it would be better if you came with me.
Yeah, family reunion, guys.
So this relic would be my grandpa.
Hey, little monster, watch your mouth.
Come on. I get that you're a bit of a sucker, but I didn't think that much. This guy comes out with an absurd story and I should believe him without any evidence?
Michael, you wear the medallion of the Ravendish family.
Michael?
But there's more. An irrefutable piece of evidence that leaves no doubt in my mind. I see my Cynthia in your eyes. Your mother.
My mom?
Come. I'll take you out of this hell.
The surface. It's been such a long time since I've seen it. It has a weird smell.
City life is a collection of scents. The asphalt, the gardens, the water of the fountains.
The pollution.
You'll learn to distinguish them. But for now, let's go home, Michael.
Go home where? Go back to
From the
England?
beginning of the story, I'd done nothing but use everybody else to achieve my aims. But as I watched that grandfather and grandson leaving together, I realized that for the first time, I'd acted for the good of others, and not myself. It made me feel better.
A lot better, actually. I'm happy for them, guys. Wow, what a surprising turn of events. A very heartwarming turn of events.
Hello.
Lars, don't you know that if you have to meet a girl after being in the sewer, you should first take a shower?
I would have really liked to, my dear, believe me. But today is not Saturday.
I already heard that one. So why do you have that strange smile?
I found out that two homeless nobles are related. I've brought them together.
Does it have anything to do with our case?
Yeah, no.
I understand. First, the secondary quest, right? Now, can we get back to the main one?
Yes.
I found a witness who swears he saw the lunatic who challenged me. According to this highly refined homeless person, the man uttered the word Citlalique.
Circle Ciplo what?
Yeah, I basically had the same reaction. Can you do a search?
Let's see what I can find.
Citlalique.
So, the word itself is a proper name, in particular of an Aztec deity. I think in our case it means something else, though. I did a cross-check with anything that might have local relevance. The search produced some matches. A themed hotel in the suburbs, a ship anchored here in Miami, and a strip club in nearby Miami Beach.
It must be the strip club. See you later, Alice.
Stop right there, you pervert.
You don't get it. My instincts lead me to believe that.
Keep your instinct at bay. We need to narrow down the field. We can't afford to go off at random.
All right. But I'm sure it's the strip club.
Okay.
Alright, so what do you have in mind? How do we narrow the search?
Alice, let's think back to the clues we know for sure.
So, in the factory you found a reference to a merchandise exchange.
That will happen tonight at an unspecified pier,
Then that witness you talked to gave us a name. Citlalique.
which, among other things, seems to be a ship anchored in Miami right now.
And here we are. I want to do another check. Give me a minute.
Don't get too carried away. The two details could be unconnected.
I don't think so. The Citlalique is a ship used for goods transport and is actually anchored at Pier 5 in the Biscayne Bay.
Bingo.
And listen to this. It seems to be registered to none other than Eric Molsberg.
Whoa!
I knew the man was involved with his daughter's kidnapping. Maybe by merchandise exchange. They actually mean the girl. I just have to wait now. If all goes well, I could close the case by tonight.
Listen, Lars, if you're going to sneak onto the ship alone, it'd be better to take precautions this time. Burton wanted me to compile an inventory of new gadgets which just arrived in the department, and there's one thing you absolutely have to see.
A gadget? What would that be?
A metal bracelet. Pretty ugly too. Well,
It contains a powerful tracker that will allow me to follow your every movement.
so, if I were to disappear, you could at least find my corpse. And this other electronic thingy?
You must pay very careful attention to that. It shoots lethal lasers.
Wow.
Really?
No, silly. It's simply a Bluetooth headset. This will make it easier to communicate. How do you plan to sneak aboard the ship?
I just have to arrange a ride by sea, and I know just the right smelly person for the job. If I hurry, maybe I'll be able to reach him before he leaves the city.
M?
Lars, don't get killed.
I think we're talking about M, and he's a dinghy boat. Sila Lique. Good boy, M.
Then, I saw him.
Big
Radwood
Mama.
was there, a few feet away from that crate. From back there, I couldn't hear what they were saying, but the tension seemed as tight as a bowstring. From Mama's agitated hand gestures, I realized that I was the topic of discussion. Radwood, for his part, seemed calm, almost indifferent. Was it possible that my interference had passed so unnoticed?
What are you doing here, Stallone?
Eugene, my friend.
Can't you see I'm trying to listen?
My good friend. Oh, come on, you're supposed to be my friend. I even brought you your teddy bear, Eugene. Is that how you repay me?
They had thrown me inside a cold, dark cargo hold.
Eugene. I'm disappointed in you.
Oh, that blow was immense. But at least I was still alive. Eugene didn't have the guts to kill me. Not yet, at least. He had also emptied my pockets. If they hadn't destroyed it, the tracker analysis bracelet would bring back up here sooner or later. But would I still be alive by then? I had to escape on my own.
Okay. Here we go, guys. Look at the size of the hatch.
That hatch could become my escape route, but it was secured to the floor with a lock.
It's for cargo loading.
That hatch could become my escape route. The winch seemed to be working. I could operate it with those commands.
Yeah, I can use it on the lock. We can leave it open.
Through the porthole, I could see the starry sky. Freedom was close at hand, yet it seemed unattainable. Normally, portholes don't have a locking mechanism, yet that one was an opening. And more than just closed, it seemed jammed. Maybe the problem was with the hinge.
The hinge?
I was sure the damage was in there, but I couldn't get a grip on it. Maybe the problem was with the hinge.
Well, we have to find a tool.
I found an old CD player. Old-fashioned, but still functioning. Huh, an original pony, by the way.
Sony
Trying
is...
to open it, I broke the little reception antenna. It was completely jammed.
A Sony Walkman. What about that can? What is that can? Can we not pick that up?
There wasn't anything else useful.
No? Alright.
A bunch of crates was occupying the back part of the cargo hold. I guess they were full of useless junk, so I didn't take much notice of them. Attached to one of those crates was an inviting piece of adhesive tape, though.
I'll take it.
They were very well sealed, and I didn't have time to try opening them. Not to mention that inside I'd have probably just found rotten fish and rum bottles. Attached to one of those crates was an inviting piece of adhesive tape, though.
Yes, I said I will take it.
Stuck to a crate was a piece of adhesive tape.
Very, very tiny piece. Super sticky.
The tent was worn and ripped in many places. Behind it was just a shadowy area. I wondered if that shade hid a useful lamp.
Lampshade.
It was a lampshade.
And it's a jar. So we have new items. We got the tape, we got the CD player, the pony CD player, antenna, lampshade. I still have the bomb with me, huh? I'm surprised. Piece of cord.
In a corner, a dusty and worn-out cot had been placed. The springs of that cot were about to give out. Literally. No exaggeration.
It is a jumping pad then. Okay, let's look at the control now. Is it going to work? Does it have power? Lift hook, right and left.
The hook was already in position.
That's as far as it goes.
The winch was already lowered.
Okay, now connect it to the lock. Is it long enough?
The hook would have never reached the lock.
Okay, need extension. What about chains? Springs? There are springs inside the cart. I can extend them. Antenna. Let's try the antenna.
Better think about it.
Can I not bend it into a hook? I can lockpick
Years of
this.
spy movies suddenly revealed themselves as nothing but shattered illusions. All I did was break the tip of the antenna.
Huh? Break the tip? So it's a pointed antenna now. It's a sharp antenna. I can cut this open, guys. Cut the cord open. I need the springs.
No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a good reason to do that.
There is a good reason, come on! I need to connect all the springs together to make a long piece of wire. In order to reach the lock. What else can we cut? The porthole?
Better to look at it closely first.
Okay.
Through the porthole, freedom was close at hand. And that's why the porthole wasn't opening. The spring that regulated its hinge movement was rotten. The rusty spring had to be replaced. I could have slid the rusty spring out of its housing, but without a replacement, I wouldn't have accomplished much.
Well, at least there's a reason now to cut open the cords.
I thought it was better to look for another solution.
What? I need a spring, man, come on.
I thought it was better to look...
Is there another object that we can use? Lampshade, adhesive tape. I want to make sure that I got the icons here. There is a new icon, winch cable. And the hook. It's a
The
power
winch
cable.
was being powered with that cable.
Huh, power cable. The hook. Shelves, tent, crates. Anything else inside the crates?
They were very well sealed, and I didn't have time to try opening them. Not to mention that inside, I'd have probably just found rotten fish and...
The fabric.
I was all out of ideas.
I have so many ideas, I'm not out of
Maybe.
ideas.
Or maybe not.
There are a lot of things we can use to connect the hook to the lock, guys. A lot of things here. I can think of a million things. I can use that tent. I can use this tub. I can use a chain. I can use the springs. I have so many ideas. Okay. What do we do? Oh, is that a hole? There's a whole family of mice in there. Let me look at this lock again.
A solid lock kept the huge hatch tightly secured.
Tightly secured. I really want to cut open the card. But there's no way to cut it open.
Sometimes, my obsession with you...
Gee.
It could collapse at any moment.
Jump on it. Oh!
The end of the bed was damaged, and a spring stuck out.
What? That's a very tiny spring. Well, at least we got one. Okay.
The new spring perfectly fit the housing.
What?
Ugly rat! You again.
That rat is wearing something. Wearing a band around his neck.
I must have climbed the side of the ship looking for something to eat. Well, wait a second. That means M is down there.
M? He brought his rats. He hasn't left yet. M!
I could see M right below me, on his dinghy. Calling out loud would have alerted Radwed's men too. Maybe there was a more cunning and discreet way to attract M's attention.
Attract his attention. We can use the CD player. We know he likes his gadgets, guys.
I thought it was better to look for another solution.
No. We think of that as a prize. We'll give him as a prize for helping us.
A reflector pointed towards the high seas, probably to spot potential incoming boats.
Can I reach the light? There's a light bulb.
That bulb emitted a very intense light, along with a noticeable warmth. If I wanted M to notice me, that bulb would have to be used where it was.
Pointed antenna. Okay, what else do we have here? The cable. I can turn off the lights. Cut the cable.
No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a good reason to do that.
There is a good reason! There is always a good reason.
That wire was linked to the reflector. If only they hadn't deprived me of that beautiful extending clothes stick.
Is this antenna extendable?
Sometimes,
It's not. We do have that, the jar, the lampshade.
I thought it was better
does
to
it
look for
work?
another solution. Was it really worth it?
Trying to think of a way. Adhesive tape. Something to do with the cable. I want
Was
to
it
turn off the
really
lights.
worth it?
Cut off the lights. Then maybe then he will look up. The dinghy. Lampshade. Feels so right. Cutting the cable. Okay, so if that's not how we do it, maybe cut this cable then. Power off.
The winch could
winch.
still be useful to me, so I didn't want to sabotage it.
No. No sabotaging the winch. Well, I can throw this outside the window. Can we not? Oh yeah!
It was too far.
It was too far. Okay, let me rotate this again. I'm going to attach this to that other light, the reflector light. Maybe we can rotate the angle then. Okay, now lower the hook. Put this outside the window.
Maybe with the hook, I would be able to make something happen on the exterior of the ship.
Yes. Can we hook it to the reflector light?
I wasn't long enough to reach the reflector, so maybe I didn't need to do that.
Or the cable, we can rip the cable out.
If only they hadn't deprived me of that beautiful extending clothes
I want to
stick.
use a hook. Come on, use a hook. Yes.
There was nothing left to do but pull the hook hard.
Yeah! Up here! Up
I
here!
heard the clinking of chains coming from outside.